Hi there, welcome to today's session. Tutor Bedingo here. Alright, so we continue with our series of videos meant to help the grade 12s prepare for their mathematics exam. And we are now solving the last question from section A, 2024 mathematics paper 2, implying that in the next session we're going to start looking at section A, 2023 mathematics paper 2 internal. Okay, so the first question is on calculus, and this particular question is on integration. So what we're going to do is, first thing is we rewrite the original equation the way it is. The original question, the original question the way it is, that is 3x squared plus 2 dx. Okay, so before we go further, I just want to remind you of a few things. In algebra, when you have a letter and a number and a letter written like this, the number is called a coefficient and the letter is called a variable. When you have a number written by itself like that, it's called a constant. So when you are integrating, what we simply do is we add a 1 to the power of the variable, which is x in this case. Okay, they usually bring x as a variable in the equation for this type of equation. Okay, so to integrate, you simply add a 1 to the power of x, and then you divide with the expression you're going to have there. So it's 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. The power of x there is 2, so it's a 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1. And then we're going to get the constant as we solve. So what we're going to do then is we're going to open a big bracket like that. Then we're going to say 4x to the power 3 plus 1. We said you add a 1 to the power of the variable x. So we say 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. And then we say minus 3x to the power 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 plus. And then when you are integrating a constant, you need to add an x, you raise it to the power of 0, and then you add a 1. Whenever you're integrating a constant, then we say over 0 plus 1 there. So what we have up there is what we have down there. What we have up there, exactly what we have there. Same applies to that one there. And then you close the bracket, and then these two numbers, the upper one is called the upper limit, the lower one is called the lower limit. So the one on top, you put it here, the one down here, you put it down there, and then you continue solving. Open the square bracket like that again, and then we can simplify there. So it's going to be 4x to the power 3 plus 1, giving us a 4 over 3 plus 1, 4 down there, minus 3x, 2 plus 1 there, 3, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2x. Okay, why? Because when the power of a variable or a number is 1, you don't write it, so there's no need for us to write x to the power 1. Once we are done with that, we can continue simplifying. We're going to say 4 divided by 4 there to give us x to the power 4 minus 3 divided by 3 there is x to the power 3 plus 2x. You have a 3 there, you have a 1 down there. Okay, at this point we're now going to, we're done integrating. So now what we're going to do for the next step is we're going to get this integrated function. While there's x in the first bracket, while there's x, we get it the way it is. In the first bracket, while there's x, we're going to put the upper limit, which is a 3. So wherever there's x, we're putting a 3. And then we say minus. In the second bracket, wherever there's x, we're putting a 1. So meaning, in the first bracket, we're going to say, let me push it to the left a bit. So while there's x, I'm putting a 3. So it's going to be 3 to the power 4, this one here. Minus, again, 3 to the power 3 there, plus 2, there's an x there, we put another 3. And then you close, and then you say minus. In the second bracket, while there's x, we're substituting a 1. So it's going to be 1 to the power 4 for this one, negative 1 to the power 3 there, plus 2 in brackets, we have the 1, we close. And then we can go ahead and simplify. So what we're going to say, we're going to actually punch these values. So we're going to say 3 to the power 4 minus 3 to the power 3, and then plus 2 in brackets, we put a 3, close. Okay, so this bracket is giving me a 60, so I'll write my 60 from here, minus the second bracket. This will give us a 1, this will give us negative 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 plus 2 times 1 is going to be 2, but for confirmation's sake, let's confirm 1 to the power 4 minus 1 to the power 3 plus 2 in brackets we have a 1, and that gives us a 2. Just as expected. Then we say 60 minus 2 giving us 58 as our final answer. Now, here is something cool I want to show you. So my calculator is actually able to compute all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply input that function we have up there. So we're going to say open bracket 4x to the power 3 minus 3 to the power 2 plus 2, then we close the bracket, 4x cubed minus 3x squared. I forgot an x there. Okay, 3x squared plus 2, and then now we go to the powers. So the power there we have 3, and down here we have a 1. So this is what I have. Okay, exactly as the question up there. Just check this guy a bit so that you can refresh. You're not refreshing. So it has finally refreshed. So what we have up there, you've seen right there, that question. That's what I have right here. So when I press equals, you notice it's giving me what? 58. This is the answer I found up there as well. Okay, you can see there's a 58 up there. Okay, this 58 right there. Alright, that is that. Let's proceed to the next question. Okay, so the next question is on algebraic fractions, and I'll show you a shortcut on how you solve this type of equation. So we have x minus 1. So I like starting with the bottom number so that I can center the top number like that. So what you do for this one, simply multiply the numerator times the opposite denominator, this one times that one. So we're going to say 1 times this, we're going to express it this way so that the 1 can multiply with everything inside the bracket, because it's supposed to be 1 times 2x, 1 times 1. So when we express it this way, that's a perfect way to multiply these values by that value there. Okay, and then we bring down that sign, and then we're going to say 10 times this. So we're going to say 10 in brackets, we put these values, x minus 1, and then the denominator is going to be, you get this denominator, x minus 1, you put in one bracket, in the other bracket you put 2x plus 1. So you pick both of the denominators except you put them in brackets. And then you can go ahead and expand. 1 times everything there, I won't change anything, we just have that. And then we say negative times positive there is negative. 10 times x, 10x. Negative times negative there, it's positive. 10 times 1 gives us a 10. Then everything over the same there. X minus 1, 2x plus 1. Then we can group the like terms. 2x and negative 10x are like terms. 2x minus 10x. Then 1 and 10 are also like terms. 1 plus 1, what? Plus 1 plus 10. Okay, plus 1 plus 10. Denominators don't change. You go with them all the way to the end of the solution. Okay, this one is running out. Let me use this one. Okay, so here when the signs are different, you keep the sign of the bigger number, you subtract 10 minus 2 there, giving us negative 8x. 1 plus 10 gives us positive 11. Everything over x minus 1, 2x plus 1. Okay, so it's recommended that your answer starts with a positive value, so we're going to swap the top values. So it's going to be 11 minus 8x. The positive 11 is there, like that. And then the denominator won't change. Still remains the same. And you are done. Alright, so that is that. We are now done with section A, Mathematics Paper 2, Internal. We are now proceeding to 2023 Mathematics Paper 1, Internal, Paper 2. What am I saying? We're now proceeding to 2023 Mathematics Paper 2, Section A. Okay, so that is internal. We're not dealing with GCE. This is meant to prepare the grade 12, so I'm just dealing with grade 12 papers. Alright, so in the next session, we're going to start looking at the SAIT paper, which is 2023 Mathematics Paper 2, Internal, Section A. Otherwise, if you found this video beneficial, be sure to give it a like. If you are not yet following us or subscribe to the YouTube channel, if you're watching this from YouTube, be sure to do so that whenever I post new content, you'll be able to see the content from your newsfeed. And if you know anyone who might benefit from these lessons, please go ahead and invite them over so that they can come and benefit. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.